Hey, what is going on, everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and here we're going to be talking about a specific game here, and I guess a specific movie. Now, The Darkness is one of my favorite games from the 7th generation of game consoles. Unfortunately, it never got a port over to PC, so it was a console exclusive, being on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Now, I initially picked it up around Christmas 2007, and let me tell you, it was an incredible game to play through at the time, and something that I still hold near and dear to me. Is it the best game ever? No. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. I mean, it does have that gritty look that the generation at that time did have with shooters like this. It is a bit too dark at times, I would say, and I'm talking visually, I'm not even talking about content, and the gunplay has a little bit to be desired there. But it is a game with a whole lot of heart, and something that I do recommend people check out. And if you like the first Darkness, the second one is also pretty good. It's not my favorite one by far. I think the gameplay is better, but the story I like much more on the first one, even with kind of the odd pseudo open world aspect that it was doing here. However, this game had something pretty technically awesome going on with it. There was a lot of in-game videos on here, and not just cutscenes. I'm talking about music videos and even films that were in this game as well too. And one thing that this game was a little bit known for at the time was that it contains the entire film of To Kill a Mockingbird in it. So if you're buying this game, you have access to that film technically. Now, this game was developed by Starbreeze Studios and was founded in Sweden, and they currently reside their headquarters in Stockholm, Sweden. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because that is important for the music videos. You see, one of the first sections you're going to be at is the Canal Street subway station over here in the game. This is probably within the first 15 minutes of the game itself. And you'll notice that there is a TV here, and once the news report is over, it ends up cutting to a music video. And you can flip channels and you can check out other video files that are technically running from the game itself. But the nice little nod and mention that Starbreeze end up putting in here is that there are several music videos from Swedish death metal bands that they end up putting in here. So it's really cool to kind of give a little bit of nod and exposure in that regard. And this is something that I feel like is really cool for the environment itself, and I always liked it. Is it something that people are going to probably just like click on once, think is cool, move on? Sure. But is it something that adds to that extra aesthetic in the environment and is also world building? Absolutely, and I love to see it in games like this. But since we're talking about an actual film, here we're talking about To Kill a Mockingbird. No, we're not talking about the book that is required reading in the US in most schools. We are talking about the film based on the book that is required reading in most schools in the US. Now, one of the first big missions you have in the game is, since it is your 21st birthday, you have to go over to your girlfriend Ginny's new apartment and spend some time with her like a good boyfriend would. You go over there, you find her apartment after unlocking the darkness and killing just a few people along the way in bloody good fashion. She wishes you happy birthday, you end up getting a cake with your name improperly written on there, then you decide to get on the couch with her, and this is the cool thing here, it doesn't just cut out at this point. This is the full film that is right here. If you want to just sit on the couch and watch it, you can watch the entire film. And actually, it'll probably be in your best interest to stay here and watch at least part of this film, because there's also an achievement in here as well too. I'll even show you. See, for any achievement hunters out there, it might be worth watching a little bit of To Kill a Mockingbird in this. Now, the cool thing is you can get off the couch at this point, and if you want to get a closer look, you absolutely can do that. And again, this is the full film that is embedded and put into the game right here. Funny enough, even years ago, I saw a forum thread in regards to this, because this isn't hidden knowledge by any means, but there was one person I do remember where, for whatever reason, I guess they couldn't find a copy of the film to purchase, or it wasn't available on streaming services at the point, so they quite literally said whenever they wanted to watch the film, because there was a few times this person and I believe their significant other wanted to watch it, they would just end up loading up the darkness, do the initial stuff at the beginning, and then get right here. And they would quite literally plop their character in front of the TV, like crouch, get in front, and they said that it looked okay, but it was good enough for viewing. I will say, looking at this now in 2023, I mean, I can even tell from here that the video file is pretty poor quality, so I guess it was more tolerable years and years ago, but either way, this is still something really awesome to see. At this point then, you can call up your friend Butcher, you have to leave Jenny's apartment, and you continue on with the rest of the game, which is not what we're going to be covering here. But this is to say, this is something I always thought was really cool in here. Now, to even delve into this a little bit further, since I have a hard-modded Xbox 360 and a copy of the game, I decided to pop my disc in, back it up in RAW file format to the console, and then transfer that copy of the game to a USB drive to explore the files on my computer. Now, even if you don't have any knowledge of coding, development, or modding on here, you can really just poke around the files and see what's going on. Once you're able to find the Darkness TV folder, you're able to see several other folders with some pretty obvious mentions here, such as music videos, which is, well, obviously music videos. And in here, you can watch all of the music videos that are used in-game in the in-game world here within New York City, which is really awesome to see. Do keep in mind, again, these are all videos that are supposed to be played kind of in the background just as you're passing on very small CRTs in the game, so they're not going to be very good quality. For example, right here in the Canal Street Station subway, you can see a music video playing. And right here on my computer, we have that file playing. It's like 1.3 megabytes in size, so the quality definitely leaves something to be desired, but we have the whole thing right here. On top of that, if we decide to back out and move into another folder, we have not one, but two films. One of the films here is To Kill a Mockingbird. And as you can see from this, you can sit there, watch the entire film, the entire file will play. So if you have 2 hours, 9 minutes to spare, and you really want to see this film, you can watch it in-game, or I guess back up the game and watch the really compressed low quality file on your computer, since this whole movie is like 80 megabytes on here. Now, I totally forgot there was a second film here until I looked at the files and replayed the game for a bit. And the funny thing is, yeah, there's another film here, which is The Man with the Golden Arm. You might have gotten a little bit of a glimpse of it in the subway, but you can see right here, this also is the entire 1955 release of The Man with the Golden Arm, right here that you can watch in that dirty subway. Or, of course, on your computer if you back up the files. But might not want to do that. Again, the quality on these videos is so low, but it's a really cool thing that adds to the world building of this game that I absolutely love. Wrapping this up here, is this hidden knowledge? No. Is this something cool? In my opinion, yeah. I think this is great, and this is something that was really neat to see that is in one of my favorite games that I want to share with you all. And we were able to put a little bit of a modded system to work here as well too, actually backing up the files and exploring them so we can verify ourselves that, yeah, the full video files are there. That's really about it for this video here. If you end up learning something, if you were entertained, if you enjoyed this, if you do like To Kill a Mockingbird, a like would absolutely be appreciated. If you didn't like it for whatever reason, a dislike is fine as well too. But either way, this is Mr. Mario, signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone.